Hey, guys.
Any update on Kibby Ranta?
Yeah, he's good. He's a possibility for tomorrow, we think. Yeah, he just got done at the doctor. He's actually not here yet this morning, but got good news. He actually just had an eye issue.
Do you have any more info you can share on OC?
I do not. Wish I did. Yeah, it's just kind of a complicated one because he's going through something that they're diagnosing and trying to figure out what the right course of action is to get him back, return to play. So it's kind of a moving target at this point, just waiting to see how some things respond, and then there's some other options to try and get him fixed up and ready to go.
Is this related to the surgery, or is
No.
this something new?
Yeah, no, his hips are good. It's just something that came up when he was getting back on the ice and something he's been dealing with, and he wants to get it fixed and feel right before he comes back, understandably.
Is it like a little bit worse than maybe what you guys initially thought, kind of thing?
I don't know about worse, but just trying to pinpoint the right rehab process for the issue that he's dealing with is probably the best way to put it. Yeah, trying to solve the problem.
So probably not back anytime soon, you would imagine.
Well,
Trying to get some.
I don't know if that's accurate. Depends what you count on soon. But he's probably, like, I consider him, at this point, like, we'll just see how the next week or two develops. And then, yeah, could happen quickly, maybe not. It's hard to say. I know that's vague, but that's all I can give you. That's all I know.
Your team is number 1 in the league in the penalty kill this morning.
Okay.
I mean, you've been up in the top, 2 to 6 most of the season anyway. But just,
Yeah.
well, how has it gone from being pretty good the last couple of years to one of the very best this year?
Goaltending's a big part of it. I think any penalty kill that's really good, your goaltenders are some of your best penalty killers, and I think that they've been doing a good job overall, but I think they've been exceptional in the penalty kill, so that's part of it. I think the group is much like, our whole team with our 5-on-5 play and all aspects of our game. It's really focused and dedicated to having success because they know it's a big part of it. And yeah, we got a good group of guys that are healthy forwards, a lot of guys that can kill. We're killing 6 forwards a night, and the decor the same way. So everyone's kind of bought into keeping the puck out of our net, and it's got a certain aggressiveness to it, like a style and an identity that they've been sort of developing from day one of training camp, and it's working.
When you look at this team and how complete it kind of feels so far, where do you kind of see the biggest hole at this point in the season?
Well, I like the way we're playing throughout the lineup, so depth is good. I would say, like if I was looking at something like on a wish list, is it a 3C spot? Like how does that all play out for us? I really like what Colts did yesterday, and I hope that that's a really good option for us because I think all the guys in our lineup are playing well, but it's just making sure we got depth, chemistry, checking ability, and scoring ability on every line because we're going to have to be deep in order to get out of our division. And so having as many options, as good options as we can at every position, I think is the priority, right? Guys that are excelling in their role, like Jack was in the 4C role yesterday, loved his game, loved the line. I kind of touched on some of those things the other day about how we want all those guys excelling in their matchups and in the role that they play. And if we can get every guy on our team doing that, give yourself the best chance to win.
That versatility, too, is that just kind of another tool in the toolbox for you guys?
It is, yeah. You want to be able to cover all your bases in every different scenario that might pop up during a game. And we've got a lot of players that I think are versatile guys and that have experience in different situations, so that's helping with our success.
Touching on that, having shifted the lines around, was there anybody that stood out to you that kind of took more control of that role, moving around more so than anybody else?
Brindley. Hey, you asked it. But I liked all of our lines. Like I liked the Drury line. I thought they did a great job. You can play them against anyone. very responsible line, but then they seem to have a chemistry together when they play together that good things happen at both ends of the rink. We saw a little bit of that last night. I thought with Colton moving to the middle, he had a really good night, and it kind of Olafson elevated his game, and then when Marty was with him, it looked really good. So we're starting to, experiment a little bit with the lines, and we're liking what we see, so we'll probably be similar lineup tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes again.
I don't know what expectations were of Gabe like 3 months ago, but I don't know if anyone would have batted an eye if he had like taken a night off here and there. He hasn't yet.
Yeah.
He's played every game. Are you surprised that even with your heavy schedule, he hasn't needed a night off?
Yeah, I would say yeah. I think going into it, like that you were always open to sort of ad-libbing along the way and figuring out like if he was to get sore, tired, with the busy schedule especially and travel, like is there days that we want to give him some rest and sort of manage it a little bit. So I'm surprised that nothing's popped up, and I'm pleased with that. I'm also not surprised knowing Gabe, like he's doing everything he can off the ice days like this to make sure that he's ready to go for the next day. And I think it's just kind of second nature. He's going to play, wants to play, and feels good enough to play. So he's going to, continue to do the work to make sure that his body's ready to go the next day.
I know he's not concerned yours anymore necessarily, but one thing Mikko gave this club was consistent production. Maybe even on nights where he wasn't at his best, he found a way to put points up.
Yeah.
Feels like that's a little bit what Marty's doing. Like I know you said you didn't love his game last night, but he gets on the score sheet, then he has the one that's taken back. Like, what is it about that ability to find the score sheet even on a night where you maybe don't have your?
So star players do. And Marty's a star player. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think when they're not at their best and they're not feeling it, and it may be a struggle for them internally because they're not, playing the way they want to play and know they can play, they still have the ability to make a play or two plays that can be difference-making plays. We talked about that with Mac last week. He had a rough game the one night and still had 2 or 3 points, right? So that's ability. It's kind of a mental toughness just to stay with it and know that, you're not, if you're not at your best, you don't have to make every play. Just a couple key plays here and there would help.
There's
Last one, guys.
you guys have played 9 overtime games, which seems like a lot, and yet there's a lot of teams that have played a lot more overtimes than you. Do you have
Yeah.
any theories as to why just like there's so much overtime?
Yeah,
this year?
parity in the league. Yeah, it's that simple. COVID, flat cap, years and years and years of flat cap. Teams at the bottom get better quicker. Teams at the top stay where they are, and the parity in the league is, it's as tight as you can possibly get. You get teams like San Jose, Chicago that are all pushing for playoffs or in playoff spots, and last year and the year before, they were at the bottom of the league. And if you look at the East, you got a team in first or second place in their division. They lose 2 games and someone else wins 2 games, and they're dead last in the Eastern Conference. So you got a bunch of teams with the same amount of ability, the same amount of expectations playing each other every night. You're going to see lots of overtime.
Eagles game is on national TV tonight. Just they're off to a great start. How cool is that for the org to have that kind of spotlight on that team?
I think it's cool. I've seen a couple other American League games that have been on TV here recently too, and I think it's great. Like if it's a quiet night in the NHL and you can get some of the prospects on, and some of the top teams playing each other, I think it's good for the league. It's good for the prospects, and yeah, everyone gets to kind of keep an eye on their organization's guys that you might not see on a daily basis.
Thanks, Coach.
Was number 1 in the NHL this morning.
Oh, cool.
It's been right up there all year. I don't know if it's actually been number 1 at any point, but just how has that happened this year? How has it evolved into the number 1 penalty kill in the league?
Just consistency, I think. I think, we have a game plan, obviously, like everybody does go into the games. And I think when you have the luxury of the guys we have killing and the smart and the IQ, that what we're going to give up, we pre-plan in a way. And then, obviously, there's high-end skill and teams are going to make plays, but we've been doing a good job of keeping that crazy stuff off our net. It's, if you're going to get a chance, it's going to be something that's, one play. It's not going to be shot, rebound, back, and everyone's scrambling. So a bit of luck. There's been some posts, and Blackie and I have done our job. Guys have made some big blocks, and kind of the whole, recipe for success has been pretty consistent, which I think is obviously nice when you know what you're doing and guys can execute it the right way.
When you're in this league long enough, you see things you never see before. Was that kind of a new experience for you in that shootout with getting pulled? I mean, it didn't matter. I mean, it didn't affect anything, but kind of a weird experience.
Yeah. No, I don't think. I mean, I've been taken out of games and stretchers and many different things, unfortunately, with the course of the position and contact. But yeah, I mean, you look at it, it's kind of, everyone's up in arms in different ways and kind of funny about how it goes, but no ill intent. Like, Phil's probably one of my favorite people from my time there. So, like, there's nothing that he comes in and says, I'm going to, take you out of the game. Like, I understand how it happens. And even Netchie, when he goes in and takes his shot, he kind of stumbles with his right foot and he looks at the ice. The ice wasn't great there. And, I changed my blades after the first period. I'd never changed my blades in my life. So, looking for more grab with how soft it was. But, no, I mean, he makes a move and I have no leverage to stop him in the splits. He tries to get, across your body, leaning forward, trying to elevate a puck. He, unfortunately loses his balance and we give each other a big hug. But, oddly enough, I don't think, you can go into it too. Like, does the NHL know my back's been hurt for 10 days? Like, they don't have the backstory on their paper. Like, oh, Wedgie gets hit today, his back's been sore, check his back out. And watching it in slow motion, you can see, he kind of squeezes my helmet into me. My head misses the post. I think he kind of maybe gets the tip of the crown on the ice, but I do a good job keeping my head up. And then from there, you break it down with, for me, it's like my back still was bothering me all game, so it's like I'm trying to breathe through that, and then I don't stand up, touch my head, lose balance, I wave off, Soko or medical guy, and then I take another shooter and I'm balanced, but, they're doing what they think is right, so it's like, how do you say, don't do your job and let our goalie have a concussion? Like, it is the way it is. It's just, do you go further down the what if line? Next guy comes down on Blackie, he pulls his groin because he's cold and the guy doesn't score. Do they wait for me to do my scat test? Do they dress an e-bug? Does Blackie leave? Like, there's, if I'm hurt or not hurt and then a forward goes, you have 10 other guys, 11 other guys, 5 with a D-man, like, there's a little bit more, I guess, people to make up for it when, you put Blackie in a really tough spot and if something happens to him on the next shot, technically you're down 2 in a matter of 4 or 5 minutes. So I don't know what the perfect recipe is, but they were trying to do the right thing for my health, and you appreciate that. It was just, is there a lesson to be learned on what I and the medical guy kind of determined too?
So you said Phil, and you said he's one of your favorite guys. Obviously, he looked concerned in the moment, but did you talk to him afterwards?
Yeah, he sent a text. His wife sent my a text. Like, he feels awful, and I kind of laughed it off. I was like, obviously, if you would have hit me a little harder, maybe my back would have cracked and gave me a release or something. But no, he's no nothing there. He's awesome. Honestly, I've spent time there. If we would have spent more time there, he probably would have been. He's still a person I've talked to through hockey, but probably would have been a very close family friend as we went down the line. But no, I mean, anyone who knows him, there's no ill intent there ever. So, no, awesome dude. He sent a text. We joked a little bit. But yeah, obviously, I'd feel bad other way too. Like, I don't think anyone can pre-plan demolishing someone in a shootout attempt. Like, if he flicked it in the corner and then cross-checked me in the head, it's a completely different story. But, he's trying to score a goal. I'm trying to stop a goal. We're playing for our teams. There's nothing there.
Coming into this locker room last year, they kind of start jigsawing players together to create a more complete team. But you come into this locker room this year, it's more hungry. It feels a little more complete. How have you seen the locker room and the vibe in here kind of change in your time here so far?
Well, time spent, obviously, for myself, you piece it together as quick as you can on the trade and what it was, and then Blackie comes in, then Nelly comes in, Coyle comes in. There's a few additions here and there, and you're trying to get personalities while playing. Talk about the start of the year with team bonding things, and pretty much the exact same lineup except for Solo come in after the claim. So you get time with each other, and there's guys that won the cup here. There's 5 or 6 of them that have the long history and a little bit more of a rap sheet of friends and families, and they know it. So, for me to come in mid-year and then all of a sudden you're pushing for playoffs, there's no, I think there was a Christmas party that we had and my wife and family wasn't even here yet. So it's like, are they going to get to know them in pieces, and am I going to get to see their families? It just doesn't really happen. So then when you come in start of the year, Nelly's now here, Burnsy's here at the start, like you're going to get, potentially trades and things like that happen throughout the year, but it's hard for anybody that's situated to get situated. Like, now I know where everything I want to use is in the city. Like there's a thing to time, right? Like I didn't, going into Nashville the other day, it's like I knew a little bit of the downtown, a couple spots that I had been to when I was there, but I didn't have time to explore. And I like that coffee shop, I like that restaurant. Like the guys like, where do we go? I don't know, I went to one spot. Like I was here for 90 days. Like it's tough in that. Same thing with Dallas. When I first got there, it was trade deadline and tough. Then you come back in the second year, you got training camp and everybody's your friend, and you got connections in golf and restaurants and all that. So I think that, and then just the vibes. Obviously everyone talks about how great Landy is, and he even starts the year with us where at the end he comes in and it's like, I'm still trying to get to know Landy in game 1 of the playoffs. Like he's been around, but we didn't hang out day to day, go to dinners on the road. There's none of that, right? So just the time, and obviously winning, solves a lot of problems. Everyone's, obviously got beat, but great people, brought in Nelly, brought in Burns, Landy obviously coming back. Like there's a great group that was here. And then you just obviously feel like we underachieved as a group last year, and you come out and, 6 cylinders are firing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The penalty kill is ranked number 1 in the NHL this morning. How'd that?
Yeah, it's good to see. I think we were sharp last game, which was good, but got to stay with it. I think got a lot of good PK guys, and goalies are obviously your biggest ones, and they've been awesome for us. So it's good to see. We got to keep it rolling.
Is there anything that's been different for you guys this year? That I know, like last year came in the middle, but like, is there anything just why it's been? It was pretty good last year, but it's really good this year.
Yeah, maybe some small tweaks here and there, but I think it's just been an effort of everyone. And I think when we got off to the good start, all the PK guys start getting excited about it, and you see, that you're really high up in the league, and I think we all value that a lot, and it means a lot to us. So I think we're just taking a lot of pride in it, and then Prater's doing a great job preparing us, has us ready every game, and we're all on the same page.
How's it been for you kind of moving around the lineup the last game?
Yeah, it's easy. It's part of being a pro, I've said this before, we have so many good players, it really doesn't matter who you're going out with. Any forward you go out with is going to be able to make plays, be smart, so it's easy.
When it comes around to those line movements, do you feel as though you've kind of found like a leadership voice of any kind for maybe some of these younger guys coming onto your line at all?
Yeah, I think they're all know what they're doing so well, pretty easily. Don't have to say much, and I think our leaders like Landy and everything have everyone prepared. But yeah, it's easy for me. I think I like to communicate a lot, talk on the ice, so whoever I'm playing with, just have a lot of talk and make things easy.
You come into this locker room in the middle of the year last year, and come in this year with a hungry group, a group that's performing really, really well. How have you kind of seen the locker room shift and change in your time here so far?
Yeah, it's last year I think it was a lot of guys kind of thrown together pretty late in the year, but our leaders did a great job putting us together. But it's been nice this year having everyone together since day one, and I think it's a close group. Adding in Burnsy and having Landy back full time, some great veteran voices that are fun guys to be around. So it's been really fun. I think obviously winning makes it better too, so that's been a big part of it.
How nice is it to have that veteran leadership like with Burns and Landis in the locker room?
It's huge. I think it makes a big difference. Both unbelievable human beings, first off, and I think that's what makes them both such great leaders. So it's been really fun having them, and it's certainly a big reason for our success so far.
Talking to Sam yesterday, he had mentioned, I was asking him about talking to anybody as far as like working on his shooting and just kind of bouncing ideas off of anybody, and he had mentioned you as you were walking by. Is that something that you guys kind of have on and off the ice? Do you?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. I love Sammy. I'm really happy for him how well he's doing this year. I think it's nice to see him starting to get the recognition he deserves. So he's a heck of a player, and I've definitely learned a lot from him, and hopefully I've been able to give him a couple things too.
Do you think, I don't know, it seems like he kind of flies under the radar just a little bit, just because of McCarr and the D-line you have. That's a testament to your D-line, I guess.
Yeah, I think him, and I also think Josh Mattson. I think Mattson might be one of the most underrated players in the whole NHL. He's so good. And I don't think anyone appreciates how good he is, but him and Sammy, it's the same thing. Sammy's so quick, fast, offensively so good, and is showing up with the scoring, and then Matt's defensively so heavy, strong, good against top guys. So both of them, I think, are very, very underrated players.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.